racism exists.
Why would a company want to hire a person with a black name? They know that that's trouble.
Y'all know I haven't checked out any Jesse Lee Peterson in a while. This young lady, I don't know who this is, but he interviewed her. And her name is Amani Wells. She's been doing some remarkable numbers over there with Jesse Lee Peterson. This one right here is the Democratic Party doesn't respect black people. I'm assuming that they had some heat between them. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson, who have helped our channel grow tremendously.
I've noticed, and you can correct me, ma'am, I'm seeing it wrong. I know that the Democratic representatives, the party itself, they, as I mentioned earlier, they don't respect blacks. They think that blacks are not capable enough to do it for themselves, so they offer them affirmative action and reparations and things like that. They think that the blacks can't take care of themselves, so they're lowering the standards in order to get into a white university. They're now telling the blacks that they don't have to take the test because they can't pass the white man's test. They think that the blacks, rather than having a father and mother in the home, they offer them government. They don't believe that the blacks are capable. And what I don't understand about that, and since you are involved in strategizing for them, what I don't understand, why do the blacks accept themselves being treated that way? Like they just can't do it. They're lowering the whole, even to get in certain jobs and things, they're lowering the standards for the blacks so that they can get it, otherwise they won't get it. I don't understand why the blacks put up with that.
Those type of things are just kind of balancing the scales from things that happened decades before. So as you know, slavery happened. It wasn't that long ago, as you know.
Over 150 years ago.
And my mother, not my grandmother, my mom went to a segregated school. So it's not that long ago.
I did too.
Okay, so you understand. It's not like this is distant.
But blacks were better off then. They didn't beg, they didn't blame.
Let's see. So back after World War II, there was a period in the United States, about 20 to 30 years, where when people came back from the war, they were given home loans that they had no interest or didn't even have to pay back. They were given cars, they were given free college education, they were given all of these things that purposely excluded black people. So there was a time in this country where white people got handouts, but we didn't call it that. Back at the time, you know, the GI Bill, all of those funds, we didn't call it a handout, we called it an opportunity. And when people look back on that time, they look back on that time, a lot of white people, as a very happy time because they got a leg up in the country, they got a fresh start, they got the money and the support that they needed to build the generational wealth that they have today. And black people didn't have access to it. They were literally purposely excluded because of racism, because of Jim Crow, because of all of these things that purposely left us out and did not give us access to the same type of help that white people did.
Where did you get that information from? Because it's not true. Where did you get that from?
The GI Bill, you should look it up.
I know black men who went to the military and they got the GI Bill too. It wasn't just the white. I have family members who went to the military, they got the GI Bill. Yep. When they got out, they were able to go to school and they were able to purchase.
But a lot of them were excluded.
They were able to purchase a home and things like that. And they were black, right? So I'm trying to figure out where you get that information from because it's not true.
It's just true. We can agree to disagree, but
I grew up in Alabama when the Jim Crow law existed, and that what you said wasn't true.
Yeah, my family
black
grew up
people
in
were
Texas.
doing better during the Jim Crow law than they are today because they weren't begging and blaming, and the country didn't have to lower the standards to let them in.
It's not lowering the standards, it's giving people access. We know right now, literally recently in Texas, there was a job posting that went out where people were sending clone resumes, same exact resume, you just put a black name on it and a white name on it, and the white people were still getting the job or getting called for interviews when the black name wasn't. Like, this is 2023. So, you know, racism exists.
Why would a company want to hire a person with a black name? They know that that's trouble.
Why is that trouble?
Because when the blacks change their name to black names, they're saying out loud, well, we hate white folks. We're not going to work with them. We're not going to get along. And so I would never hire anyone with a black name.
Well, that's bias. And
because I know that you're bringing in trouble. This person's already want me to get along with my white employees and things like that.
Jesse Lee Peterson, man, see, this is the thing that gets us on the wrong foot sometimes. And then actually, it shows me that these parts of his interviews that make me question whether or not he's being serious. You know what I mean? Like, is he just sparking something from the other side or what? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, he seems like he's being serious and by his demeanor, but by what he's saying, like, I don't hire people with black names because I already know that they're going to cause trouble. What the heck you talking about? I can't hire no Devontae and no Kelvon and no Natashas because I already know y'all in trouble. Can't hire no Keishas. Dang that. Nah, y'all gonna cause trouble.
Well, that's internalized racism.
I wouldn't hire that.
That's your choice.
You know what I mean?
Bias.
So
and
why would a
that's
company
racist.
want to hire someone that you know already gonna bring trouble?
That's not true. I'm Nigerian. I have a Nigerian name. Onyioha is
But you
a
grew up in
Caucasian
America,
name.
though. You didn't grow up in Nigeria.
And there's a lot of black people who have ethnic names who grew up in America. So what's the difference?
But why would a
The difference is, you beautiful lady, is that you're American. You're not Nigerian. You're American. I know your lineage, you can trace them back to Africa and whatnot, but most black people cannot. So I get why you would say you're Nigerian, because probably your mom, who you said went to a segregated school, or your dad who went to a segregated, I don't know. You said it, but apparently they grew up here. And if they grew up here, then you're not Nigerian. You're American. You were born here, raised here. You're American.
company want to hire a black with a black name?
Why not?
No, I'm asking. I just told you why not, because it's trouble.
Why is it trouble? Black people are trouble? Is that your
When they
opinion?
change their name to abnormal names like black names, they're saying they're angry. They are.
We don't change our name. Last time I checked, I didn't choose my name.
I know,
was
but
given
your
my
mother,
name at birth.
your folks are from a different country, so
My
of
mom
course,
is from here.
but your father's from there, right? Mm-hmm. It's of course they're gonna have different names. I'm talking about the blacks who were Americans and they had American names at one time. Mm-hmm. You believe that? Oh, so you think that it's okay that the reason that you are a Democrat and no problem with it, you're okay with them lowering the standards for the blacks?
They're not lowering the standards for
What
the
would you
blacks.
call it? Because these people
They're
are not qualified.
including. If you're not qualified, then you won't get the job. But
But-
if you have the qualifications,
But
if
the
you
qualified
have the
person
resume,
is the person that can pass the test,
if you can pass
not the one that
test.
can't pass the test.
There's a lot of black people who have had affirmative action who have passed the test and are very educated. They have master's degrees. They have high GPAs.
But how would
they
you know
pass
that,
the
though,
test.
since you know that they only get into these schools based on color?
They're not
And so
only getting into the schools
the
based on
standards
color.
been lowered so the blacks can get in. So you have to assume that all the blacks are just getting in because, not because of qualification, but because of affirmative action.
It's just not true.
Is that true?
It's not true.
Okay. You believe that there are benefits to having a more progressive leadership. You believe that there are benefits to having a more progressive leadership that is willing to change the law for working class people, such as raising the minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell y'all something. That is a voluptuous woman right there. Got the lips, the hips. Make sure my wife not coming.
Are you okay if you had a business, your own business? Would you be okay with the government telling you in your own private business that you have to raise the minimum wage?
I have my own private business because
you
I'm
do?
a partner at this firm, so I do own a portion of the firm. And we unionized our staff. We told them, hey, y'all should unionize. And we did their union negotiation in 2 days. We gave them good wages, they got medical, and we are bound by that union contract, and it goes up every year, and we have to reaffirm it, and we did it, and it's fine.
Business. Handling your business, lady. You are handling your business without any help from the white man, without any help from the government. Nothing's holding you back. You beautiful black lady, you. I'm sorry, you're not black. You're Nigerian. She don't claim black. She's Nigerian, is what she said. She's from the land of Nigeria. Horrible African accent, and that might even be a teaspoon racist. I apologize.
You wouldn't have done it had not you got in a union. You
We
wouldn't have
had it
naturally
anyway.
done that.
Yeah, we told them to unionize.
No, if they had not gotten a union, you would not have paid them for what they were worth?
We were still paying them really well. We just wanted just to have that partnership with the union to hold us accountable. We were already paying them well. They already had great wages. So when it came down to negotiate, we ratified our union contract in 2 days. It didn't take long because we had already been providing the things that they would have wanted. So
and you say you needed the union to hold you responsible?
We don't need them to, but we're not afraid of it. What's the problem?
You did say you wanted them to hold you responsible.
Well, if you were going to do the responsible thing, why did you need a union? I don't quite understand.
We didn't need it, but our staff, people want it. Like, people like to be unionized. They like to have the backing of a union. So yeah, they're here. They're our partners in it, and it's working out great.
But I don't quite understand, because if you guys were going to do the right thing anyway, and the staff knew that, why would they want a union? Because now they have to pay union dues.
We told them to unionize.
Now they have to pay union dues.
And they're happy.
They may get a raise, but that raise going to go toward the union dues, which benefit the unions to go to the Democratic representatives to help support the Democrats to get what they want to get.
Yeah, we can be transparent. Union dues are 0.08% of our staff's paycheck. And that's something that they wanted to do. Again, they formed the union. They voted on it. That's what they wanted to do because they wanted that type of protection, and we were cool with it. It doesn't cost them much. It probably cost them $20 a paycheck, but you got the whole backing of a huge union behind you, which is great for them. And they wanted that, and we was cool with it.
That's amazing.
That's ridiculous. Being a business owner, I don't even know why you would champion that. But that's just me. And I'm younger. I'm really young in business, so maybe I'm off my rocker when it comes to that. So maybe union is a great thing. I don't know. I don't see how it benefits the business itself. That's just me.
You want to stop union busting. Why?
Why would you union bust?
What's union bust? If somebody could tell me, what's a union bust?
Why do you want to stop union busting?
Because if people want access to better wages, health care, time off, sick leave, they should be able to have that. And busting the union oftentimes interferes with their ability to have access to those things. For instance, if the corporation themselves or the company or whoever doesn't want to give you things that you need, like sick days, basic things, we all get sick, none of us are perfectly immune, then you should be able to have access to those things and don't stand in the way of an entity that's trying to provide those type of protections for workers.
All of my life, I worked for different companies before I started my own thing. And I never worked for a company where they didn't give you time off, vacation time, sick time. And if you need to be off, they'll let you go and take care of your business. Where did that idea come from that companies don't do that and you need a union?
There's some, unions have been here long before either of us were
Yeah, I know
alive.
that,
So
right.
a long
time
ago. And America was, again, better back then when we had union strength, because a lot of the sneaky things that some corporations and some businesses do. Like I said, I'm a business owner myself, so I understand that there are some businesses and corporations who are cool with giving people paid time off, bereavement, all of that. But then there are some people who try to skip corners. Like we had the big thing with Palestine, Ohio, and the labor workers. They were not given paid sick days. Like, why? In 2023, are we not giving people paid sick days? So there are some industries that don't do the basic things that you grew up on and that I've known most of my jobs to offer. Some people don't. So in those instances where we know that those are basic things that everybody needs, then you should be able to fight for those things.
Here's my thing, and hopefully I don't come off sound like a tight ass when I say this, and I'm being dead serious when I say this. I think paid sick leave is a luxury. Ooh, what do you mean it's a luxury? We have families to raise and we have bills to pay and all that other stuff. Well, get a better job, get another career, go another route. Is it too difficult? I mean, the same way it's difficult for these foreigners to travel from one country to another to start their life completely over. We've become so spoiled by all of the amenities of our country, but yet we double talk and act as if the country ain't good enough. We act as if we're not offered what we're supposed to be offered in order to survive. But then we double talk and say, well, you have some companies that don't even provide you the basic needs like paid sick leave. That's a luxury. It really is. There's a bunch of companies out there that don't provide that. As long as they pay you for your time worked, then you should probably do the responsible thing and save, invest. And if you don't have enough money to save and invest, then either get you another job or start your own business, because those opportunities are out there. And I know you're considering, what about health, those type of things. If it's a health thing, then I really don't have any answers for that. But for us to demand something from a company who are hiring you to work for them, they're the ones that can do the demanding, not the employees. Like I just think we're spoiled as hell. That's just me. I think we're becoming softer and softer and softer by the day. And we're wondering why things are getting all screwed up. Things are getting all messed up. Everybody's for everything now. I support this. I support that. I support you, and them, no matter if it's good or not. I'm for everything. You cannot be for everything. You can't possibly be for everything. Try raising children and being for everything. It's not possible. You gotta take a stance somewhere, and then you gotta run your race. But I speak on everything, most things anyway, as a father and a husband and just someone who I'm a family guy. That's what I'm good at, just being a family guy. And I'm probably not even that great at that, to be honest with you. I might not even be that great at that. But I will say this, there's crazy amounts of opportunities out there. And as long as we strive out there, we strive for the best, we can go get it. Period. There are people right now complaining that they have to go into work now because they've been spoiled from the whole situation of us getting sick and having to stay home for, I don't even want to say the word. That's crazy. But from all of that, and they would much rather work from home rather than going into the office. And hey, look, I'll stand here and complain with you, but you can do something about it, right? Just saying.
Complaining about the job situation, not showing up for work on time or not coming to work a lot, and get them to help get you into the company so you can convince the other employees to join the union. And it's not that the union care about the people, the union care about the money. And they'll live it high on the hall while the employees are paying their salary, paying their by way of union dues. It's not like they care about them. They just care about the money and the perceived power that they're getting. Do you think that unions care about you?
Sometimes.
No, they don't.
Yeah. I'm
I
the
used to
queen
work for them.
I feel you.
They
Two things
don't.
can be right at the same time. You ever heard that phrase?
What's that?
Two things can be right at the same time.
No.
There are some people who are in unions for the power and the money, and then at the same time, there are some employees who need protection and better wages. Two things can be true at the same time.
But the ones that say they need it are the ones that should be fired anyway.
Sometimes.
Right.
But sometimes
You know what I mean?
it's not. Yeah.
Amazing. And so,
amazing. I haven't heard that in a while, man. Y'all know I haven't checked out a Jesse Lee Peterson video in a minute. Amazing. So yeah, I think she's young in business. I'm not going to say she's not seasoned enough to run her business and do her thing. I think she's doing an amazing job. She got employees that's being looked out for, being watched after. They have a union that her and her crew decided to add on to their whole system, I suppose. But at the end of the day, we try our best to find a way to make things so palatable for people when work is supposed to be work. But there's most people who go to work don't even work a lot. And businesses are losing money by simply having them on the books. And businesses do go out of their way to hire people so that they can have a well-run machine, so that they can have write-offs, obviously, so that they can look out for families. We would demand everything from a company, but won't even consider going out there and starting our own, or not even starting our own, but linking up with somebody who has a skill set and joining with them to start a company, or joining with a few people to do it and contract out our services. Because after working for 10, 20, 30 years, we adapt skill. We learn skills that can be profitable if we package it the right way. But we decide to take the easy way and let somebody else do that work and let them dictate when we can come in, how long we can come in, when we should leave, when we should have lunch, when we should have a break, when we can take off work. And that's cool. I'm not saying everybody's a business owner. Everybody is not a business owner. But we put a lot on business owners in thinking that they owe us something. And as soon as we get that arrogant type of, that smug type of mentality, they can let us go just like that. As a matter of fact, they do. And then what? We only push our skills and our gifts and our talents and abilities to the limit when we're in dire need and that's all we got. How about while we have a job, we're pushing our skills and abilities and everything to the limits, and gifts to the limits, on the side, so that we can build something for ourselves and eventually not even need that job. That's just my 2 pennies.
Oh, the union in the older days, I think they may have meant well, but
Sarcasm is definitely a skill, Big Craig.
the unions today are no good. They're just one-sided union for the Democratic Party, and they can care less about the people. I'm not for the union, especially since I work for them and I know the thinking of the unions. And they go out and they convince the people, you need more money, you need this and you need that. And when the people think that they're going to get more, they're for it, but they end up getting nothing. It's the union that does it.
The young lady, some of you say that she's not very smart. That's subjective. I'm not in a position to call anybody smart or not smart. I can judge some of I can give you my take on some of the things that she may say or some of the positions she take, but I didn't finish college. I'm a college dropout. You know what I mean? I didn't even do that well in high school because I checked out. It was all about girls and fun. You know what I mean? It was all about girls and fun in high school. Before then, I was smart as a mofo, but I checked out. So I feel like I'm not in a position to say if someone's intelligent or not. But y'all feel free to comment how y'all comment, man. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging with me.